briefly in English, what can you say, what the law says about situation of handing over power to Deputy Chief Justice now as Chief Justice Emeritus?
Okay, the law allows, the law provides that the Deputy Chief Justice assumes the office of the Chief Justice upon the retirement of the substantive Chief Justice. So in this case, what we have is Honorable Justice Leavin being now the acting Chief Justice of Uganda, and he immediately assumes the duties, responsibilities, and powers of the Chief Justice. So as we speak, we cannot say that we do not have a Chief Justice. Parliament and the Constitution envisaged a situation where the Chief Justice would retire, as the case is now, and upon retirement of the Chief Justice, the Constitution provides that the Deputy Chief Justice now assumes the responsibilities of the Chief Justice. As we speak now, Honorable Justice Dr. Owiny Dollo is the head of the Supreme Court and head of the Judiciary of Uganda.
Can he sit on the panel of those judges who are going to be hearing a petition from presidential elections?
But by virtue of his constitutional appointment, he heads the Supreme Court and he's part of the Supreme Court. In fact, he is charged with the responsibility of leading the members of the Supreme Court that will sit and determine any presidential election petition. So far we know there is only one petition, but more petitions may come up. So he's charged with the responsibility of guiding the Supreme Court on how the petitions will be handled. And in fact, he is also charged with the responsibility of sitting on the panel and hearing the petition.
If we talk about the fairness and independence of the judiciary and the judicial officers, we are now waiting for the president to appoint a new Chief Justice. Where does this leave the independence of justice and judiciary and judges?
Of course, now we have concerns over the fact that the current or the incumbent president, whose term is yet to expire, is one of the respondents, or is a potential respondent in the presidential election petitions. And he's also charged with the duty, with the mandate to appoint the substantive Chief Justice. We have a saying in law that justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done.
Yes.
So the concern is, do we see justice being done if one of the respondents is a potential, if the incumbent president is one of the potential respondents in the petitions? And also the question is, why, if we knew about the retirement of the Chief Justice, why didn't we make proper arrangements for his replacement before that happened? We've seen this happening before. It's not the first time that this has happened. We've seen this happening with, first during the time of Honorable Justice Stephen Kavuma. At that time, he was acting Deputy Chief Justice and acting Chief Justice, and we had so many concerns over that. We thought we'd learn from that. And at some point, we also had Justice Odoki being retiring as Chief Justice, but also being retained as acting Chief Justice, and we had petitions and court decisions in that regard. We thought that we could learn as a country from those scenarios, from those situations. But it seems either we did not learn from them, or it's intentional. The fact that a substantive Chief Justice is not appointed or is not known, even at the time of retirement of the of the sitting Chief Justice speaks a lot and raises concerns of integrity within our judiciary and the appointments, but also speaks to political intentions behind the delays in making these appointments.
So it means someone can sue the government or the former Chief Justice Emeritus, or either.
Ugandans have the right to challenge what appears to be the deliberate omission to appoint a substantive Chief Justice, especially in situations like this. We've seen this happening. We've seen the appointment of Honorable Justice Leavin in acting capacity as Chief Justice being challenged in court. We've also seen the appointment of Justice Odoki upon his retirement, reappointment upon his retirement being challenged in court. We've seen other judicial officers the appointments of judicial officers being challenged in court. Most recently, the now retired Deputy Chief Justice Emeritus Richard Terra being challenged before Justice Musa Sekana in the High Court. So Ugandans have the right to challenge, but also we do not need a court decision for each and everything. Really, if the Constitution mandates you or gives you the power to make these appointments, I think it's very important to treat these matters seriously, especially the fact that they emanate from the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. So the delay or omission in making these appointments raises very important constitutional concerns, and we start to think that probably there are political
attachments and
sentiments to these appointments, which should not be the case. But unfortunately, this is what comes out of this whole delay